Jayme Server. While some people are paying a month's rent on a dog, there are dogs being put down, living in cages, or waiting and hoping for their forever home. You and your family are ready to get a dog, so what do? You save up a year in the next year to finally pick out a dog and have them sent to your house without even meeting them, all for what? Papers? Or do you go out with your family to a local shelter and look for your next family member? That will cost next to nothing, and you will now have a dog who is not only going to be your lifelong companion, but it will thank you for saving his or her life and showing them the life that they'd always hoped that they'd have. Today I'll be talking about the pros of adopting a puppy or a dog versus buying one. According to the APPA, the American Pet Products Association, 37 to 47% of families in the United States own a dog. And according to the ASPCA, the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, 28% of all dogs are purchased from breeders. Now, if anyone understands the want for a certain kind of dog, I do. My grandma owned a Welsh Corgi when I was little, and growing up with that little dog, let me tell you, it stole my heart. Now I want you to picture a Welsh Corgi. The little legs, the long body. On average, they cost around $1,000 to $1,200. Now picture that same dog, but now you've adopted him from a shelter, costing $60 and saving his life on top of it. That dog you're picturing right now is my dog. His name is Scooter. We adopted him when we thought our other dog, Max, who's a pointer pit bull, who we also adopted, should have a friend at our house too. We decided we wanted a small dog because Max was close to the size of a small horse. That's when it hit me. I wanted a Welsh Corgi, just like my grandma had had. My husband said, we are not buying a dog, absolutely not, but if you can find one in a shelter, you can adopt it. I knew finding a Welsh Corgi in a shelter was going to be a challenge, but I didn't give up. And about 2 months later, keep in mind I was browsing shelter websites daily, I found Scooter, a Welsh Corgi. I immediately called the shelter, got Max after I got off work, and we went to meet him. He was with us that night in his new forever home. That was over 7 years ago, and the two have been inseparable ever since. So now that we know around how many dogs are purchased from breeders, let's look at the numbers and percentages of dogs that enter shelters throughout the year and what happens to them. Around 3.9 million dogs enter shelters nationwide each year, and of these dogs, around 35% are adopted, 31% are euthanized, and 26% are returned to their owners. It breaks my heart that these animals are being put down because they couldn't find a home, not because they were sick or mean, but because it was out of their control. Well, what about pet stores, you might ask? Purchasing a puppy from a pet store is supporting puppy mills. A puppy mill is a place where certain female dogs breed and breed until they can't breed any longer, and then they don't have any use for them anymore. They're kept in cages, and some puppy mills are so bad that the dogs that live there never even felt the grass underneath their feet. It's sad that we have to deal with the overpopulation of dogs in shelters, but some people have thousands of dogs crammed inside of a barn and are breeding more and more as we speak. Now, I'm not one to judge someone for buying a dog from a breeder, but I do believe that there needs to be a change in order for this drastic shelter space and putting animals down from it to stop. If more people would adopt dogs and less people would breed them, maybe one day we could live in a world where shelters didn't have to worry about space and having to euthanize dogs. They could live there happily until they were adopted one day, instead of being put on a list and given a date. Another subject I would like to bring up before ending this speech is one of the biggest controversies in the dog world here in America: pit bulls. Everyone has their own experience with dogs, but coming from someone who's grown up around them, I can tell you I will always vouch for them. People say they're mean and that they bite and that they're aggressive. But the truth? People train them to be mean and to bite and to be aggressive. They aren't born that way. When you say you would never adopt a pit bull and you've never even gone to meet one or play with one, you aren't even giving them a fair chance. And how is that fair? I can tell you that my little dog would definitely bite someone before my big dog did. Max is the biggest, literally, lap dog and cuddle buddy ever. He comforts me when I'm sad and lies on my lap during the movie. he wouldn't hurt a fly. And when I think of all the dogs being put down because of their breed, I think of Max, and it breaks my heart. The majority of dogs being killed are pit bulls, and it's because people are not giving them a fair chance. As this speech comes to an end, all that I ask is that you imagine next time you're planning to expand your pet family, you think to yourself how you could not only change an animal's life forever, but how you could save them as well.